Chapter 51 Liuxing #039, S request. You are listening at novelfull.audio. 5 minutes later, a cracking sound echoed as fissures spiderwebbed across the ice sculpture, chunks of ice began to break off, and a powerful aura surged outwards. The ice Qilin, vermilion bird, and other spirit pets instinctively shielded their masters. Bang! Finally, with an explosive burst, the ice shattered completely, revealing Xiao Jingjing standing before them. It had grown from the size of a kitten to that of a large German shepherd. Its snow-white fur had transformed into jagged ice crystals, and its small teeth had become formidable fangs. Dark blue eyes radiated an icy chill, the frigid air emanating from it had formed a thick layer of frost on the floor. Roar! It threw back its head and unleashed a tiger's roar, and an icy wind swept through the room. Everyone except Ye Qianxing trembled. At that moment, Ye Qianxing saw the saber-toothed tiger's stats appear: Spirit Pet, Ice Crystal Saber-toothed Tiger, Attribute, Mutant Frost, Rating, 3 stars, Growth Type, Level, E2. Skills, 1, Tiger Roar, Stun, 0.2. Frozen Strike, Chance to freeze target, 0.3. Ice Crystal Barrier, Defense, 0.4. Furious Bite, Physical Attack, Increased Power when enraged, Requirements for Evolution, Possible Evolutions. It evolved. It really evolved into an Ice Crystal Saber-toothed Tiger. And it's an elite quality. Liuxing was ecstatic. As Xiao Jingjing's soulmate, he could sense its current state. Zhou Yu and Zhou Lang stared, wide-eyed. Many novice trainers could level up spirit pets, but evolution and quality upgrades were much harder. Who was Ye Qianxing, to possess such abilities? Only Xiaoyu and Sutera remained calm. Compared to what they'd witnessed before, this was nothing. Ye Qianxing could evolve a fire spirit bird into the mythical Suzaku. An elite quality upgrade was peanuts. See? I told you my Qianxing was the real deal, but you didn't believe me. Believe it now. Sutera smirked at Liuxing, who was still buzzing. Liuxing snapped out of it. Now, he regarded Ye Qianxing not with resentment, but with deep admiration. Ye Qianxing, no, bro-in-law, I was wrong. I take back everything I said and apologize. I hope you can forgive my ignorance for my sister's sake. Ye Qianxing was taken aback by bro-in-law, and Xiaoyu blushed crimson, but didn't object. Oh, you've got some nerve. Weren't you just saying Qianxing wasn't good enough for your sister? Now you're calling him bro-in-law. Sutera retorted. Liuxing flushed slightly, but recovered quickly. Hey, give back my Qianxing. Let me tell you, he's my bro-in-law now, so he's family. You gotta get your facts straight. Oh, you wanna fight? I knew Qianxing before you were even playing in the sandbox. We're true love. So what if you knew him first? He's my bro-in-law. We're true love. Ye Qianxing's face darkened as he listened to their ridiculous argument. He could barely stop himself from kicking them both. Quarrel all you want, but why drag me into it? True love. I'm a normal dude, okay? What would people think? My reputation. They bickered for what felt like forever, finally stopping when they were hoarse. Oh yeah, bro-in-law, it's all this guy's fault. I almost forgot why I dragged you over here. Liuxing took a swig of water and said urgently. What's up? Ye Qianxing asked. What could this guy possibly need? So, since you're so amazing, I wanted to ask you a favor. Something's been wrong with my dad's spirit pet lately. It's been listless, won't eat or drink, and keeps throwing up. My dad's had a ton of people look at it, but no one knows what's wrong. Liuxing looked at Ye Qianxing expectantly. Bro-in-law, if you're so good at evolving pets, you must know how to heal them too, right? You want me to treat your dad's pet? Ye Qianxing clarified. Meishing, why didn't you tell me about this? Xiaoyu frowned. Sis, you just started at the academy's special class. Dad didn't want you to worry, and even if you did know, it wouldn't help. So he didn't say anything, Liuxing explained. Bro-in-law, if you can help my dad heal his spirit pet, he definitely won't give you and my sister any trouble. Ye Qianxing stroked his chin. Xia Xiaoyu and Xia Liuxing's father was the president of the Jiangnan City Spirit Association. Ye Qianxing really didn't want to get involved with those types, but this was Xia Xiaoyu's father, so he couldn't refuse. Okay, but I can only try. I can't promise anything, Ye Qianxing said. Okay, I believe in you, bro-in-law. You can totally do it. So, when should we go? Xia Liuxing asked eagerly. It was hard seeing his father looking so stressed, so he wanted to help, seeing his eagerness, Ye Qianxing said. No time like the present. I'm free today, so let's head over now. Great, let's go. Don't worry about bringing anything, we've got everything covered. And with that, Ye Qianxing followed Xia Xiaoyu and Xia Liuxing to the Xia residence, leaving Sutala and the others to watch the store. Even though he'd known Xia Xiaoyu for a while now, Ye Qianxing had never been to her house. The Xia family was a super-rich family in Jiangnan City, and he was just a poor orphan. They hopped into Xia Liuxing's luxury car and soon arrived at a massive estate. Land in Jiangnan City was expensive, and the Xia family clearly had money to burn. The estate was full of fancy buildings, and Xia Liuxing's car finally stopped in front of the biggest one. This is my dad's place. Let's go. They got out of the car and headed inside. There were guards everywhere, but since Ye Qianxing was with Xia Liuxing and Xia Xiaoyu, they didn't stop him. Miss, Master, you're back. And this is Chapter 52 Xia Liuyun. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Hey there, you're back, an older guy dressed like a butler came bustling over. Grandpa Chen, where's Dad? Xia Liuxing asked right away. He's upstairs. We just brought in some more pet experts, hoping they can help your dad's spirit pet. I found a real pro. He's definitely gonna fix Dad's pet, Xia Liuxing said, pointing at Ye Qianxing. The old butler took one look at Ye Qianxing's young face and wasn't buying it. But he couldn't exactly diss the young master's friend. Come on, let's head upstairs. Xia Liuxing led the way, and the three of them walked towards the top floor. As soon as they got there, Ye Qianxing heard some older voices. Mr. Xia, I'm really sorry, but I'm stumped. I can't figure out what's wrong with your spirit pet. Yeah, we've given it our best shot, Mr. Xia. Maybe the only one in Jiangnan City who can save it is old Professor Dongfang. Mr. Xia, I heard Professor Dongfang is back in town. You should give him a call. When Ye Qianxing got closer, he saw a bunch of people gathered. Most of them were guys past 60. There was also a middle-aged dude and a huge silver-white wolf. The middle-aged guy had some gray hairs starting to show, probably from stress, but you could tell he was somebody important just from the way he carried himself. Looks like this is Xia Liuyun, head of the Jiangnan City Spirit Controller Association, and that silver wolf must be Xia Liuyun's spirit pet. The famous Howling Moon silver wolf that keeps the monsters out of Jiangnan City. Xia Liuyun isn't just the spirit controller. Association president, he's also the top spirit master in Jiangnan City. That Howling Moon silver wolf keeps the evil spirits away. Spirit pet, Howling Moon silver wolf. Attributes, Thunder/Frost, rating, 4 stars, growth type, level, D5. Abilities, 1. Moon Frost, lightning and frost attacks at the same time. 2. Extreme cold field, creates an icy field, possibly immune to attacks and can freeze enemies. 3. King Seal of the Wolf Clan, boosts explosive power with Wolf King blood. Weakness, Divine Fire, advancement, evolution, current status, theobromine poisoning. Needs gastric lavage. Dad, Xia Liuxing shouted. Everyone turned to look at them. Xia Liuyun's face lit up a bit when he saw his kids, forcing a smile to replace his worried look. Xiaoyu, what brings you home today? Xia Liuyun asked gently, dropping the big shot act around his kids. It's a school holiday, Xia Xiaoyu replied. Then, Xia Liuyun looked at Ye Qianxing. You brought friends over. Make sure they have a good time. Dad, this is Ye Qianxing, Xia Liuxing chimed in. Ah, so you're the one Xiaoyu's been talking about. Xiao Liuyun's face tightened a bit at Ye Qianxing's name, but he quickly hid it. Dad, Ye Qianxing's here to help Uncle Wolf. Xiao Liuxing quickly got to the point. Calling the Howling Moon Silver Wolf Uncle Wolf was a sign of respect. Xiao Liuyun treated him like a brother. Help Xiaoyu. This kid, Xiao Liuyun was stunned, not believing it for a second. He knew a little about Ye Qianxing. His parents disappeared when he was little, he grew up in an orphanage, and then some nice people took him in, only to find out he was a bit slow. How could someone like that cure Xiaoya? Xiao Liuyun thought Ye Qianxing was just trying to get on his good side through his kids. Look, even these top-notch masters can't figure out what's wrong with Xiaoya. How could a kid fix it? I already called Professor Dongfang. I'm sure he'll know what to do. Xiao Liuyun was being polite, actually. Anyone else would have been laughed out of the room. Mr. Xia, with all due respect, even the professor might not be able to help Xiaoya. Ye Qianxing spoke up. He wasn't trying to disrespect the professor, just stating facts. Xiaoya's problem was something outside the scope of these trainers. Haha, that's rich. You're saying the professor can't do it, but you can. You think you're better than him? Kids these days have no filter, but there are some things you just don't say. Who are you to criticize Professor Dongfang? Hearing Ye Qianxing, the old expert started sounding off before Xiao Liuyun could say a word. They were all roasting Ye Qianxing. Professor Dongfang was the top trainer in Jiangnan City, someone they looked up to. They weren't going to let some young punk badmouth him. Ye Qianxing didn't take their insults to heart. He looked at Xiao Liuyun and said, Mr. Xia, I'm 100% sure I can cure Xiaoya. You willing to give me a shot? Dad, please let him try. He's super skilled. He's got his intermediate trainer certificate. Xiao Liuxing jumped in. Xiao Liuyun snapped. Enough. Xiao Liuyun's shout made Xiao Liuxing jump. He realized he was overreacting and tried to calm down. Liuxing, I know you want to help, but you don't need to make things up. Dad, I'm not lying. Xiao Liuxing insisted. Please. There are only 5 intermediate trainers in the city. Professor Dongfang and the other 4 are right here. You're saying he's an intermediate trainer? Is he Professor Dongfang? Xiao Liuyun scoffed. If you're not lying, then someone's playing you for a fool. Xiao Liuyun was clearly implying that Ye Qianxing had fooled Xiao Liuxing. Ye Qianxing just shook his head, not bothering to argue. If they didn't trust him, fine, he was here to help because of Xiaoyu, but if they didn't appreciate it, whatever. In that case, I'll be going, Ye Qianxing said to Xiao Liuyun, ready to leave. Qianxing. Seeing this, Xiaoyu and Xiao Liuxing thought Ye Qianxing was mad and tried to follow him. Just then, a voice called out. Sir, Professor Dongfang is here. Chapter 53 Stay for dinner. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Come on in. Xiao Liuyun was thrilled to hear that. I hope readers will remember our domain name Taiwan Novel Network. Ye Qianxing was already at the door when a man in his 70s entered. The old man paused, surprised to see Ye Qianxing, then chuckled. Well, look who it is, Yi. Back so soon. You hear about President Xia's pet too? Yes, Professor, Ye Qianxing replied. You can't fix it? The professor seemed puzzled. He had a high opinion of Ye Qianxing's abilities. If even he couldn't help, how complicated was this silver wolf's condition? It's not that I can't. President Xia just thinks I'm too young to be able to cure it. Ye Qianxing answered honestly. Ha! The professor was taken aback by this. Xiao Liuyun, meanwhile, was surprised to see the two chatting. They seemed to know each other pretty well. Given Ye Qianxing's background, it seemed impossible he'd know an industry leader like the professor. Professor, you know each other? Xiao Liuyun asked, surprised. Yep. He took the intermediate trainer certification test a couple of days ago. I was the head examiner. He's the only one who passed. Xia Liuyun was stunned. So Ye Qianxing hadn't been lying. He really had passed the intermediate exam. Professor, is he the 16-year-old intermediate trainer everyone's talking about? One of the other trainers, who had mocked Ye Qianxing earlier, exclaimed, as if something had clicked. The buzz in Jiangnan City's trainer circles was all about the first 16-year-old intermediate trainer. Underage intermediate trainers were incredibly rare, even in the entire country. The entire trainer community in Jiangnan City was buzzing about this genius. But news had spread so fast that many only knew there was this genius, but not who it was. That's why several intermediate trainers didn't recognize Ye Qianxing. That's him, the professor confirmed. Suddenly, all four trainers stared at Ye Qianxing like he was some priceless treasure. Ye Qianxing, unnerved by their stares, started to sweat. A bunch of girls staring was one thing, but a bunch of old guys? Nightmare fuel. Professor, are you sure he got the intermediate certificate? I thought there were only 5 intermediate trainers in Jiangnan City. Xia Liuyun still seemed skeptical. Oh, he passed the test a few days ago. I just haven't had a chance to report it yet, the professor explained. But he's so young, and his mind was hurt when he was a kid. Ha! President Xia, you really misjudged him this time. To be honest, Ye's knowledge of cultivation puts me to shame. If Jiangnan City was qualified to grant advanced certificates, I'd have made him a senior trainer on the spot. The professor laughed, implying Xia Liuyun had been wrong to doubt Ye Qianxing. Xia Liuyun, already reeling from the previous shocks, almost fell over when he heard the professor say he was ashamed by comparison. There wasn't even one senior trainer in Jiangnan City, and there weren't many in the entire country. They were all master-level figures. Even the old professor wasn't confident he could become one, but he was confident Ye Qianxing could. That was high praise indeed. If Ye Qianxing didn't have real talent, the professor would never have said such things, and he was only 16. Xia Liuyun would have been surprised, but probably not disbelieving, if it had been anyone else. But Ye Qianxing was different. After learning about Ye Qianxing and Xia Xiaoyu's connection, he had dug into Ye Qianxing's past and knew his mind had been hurt when he was young, resulting in memory loss. People with those sorts of mental issues couldn't accomplish much, whether as spirit masters or trainers. Mastering training knowledge required deep memory and talent, neither of which a person with mental issues could have. President Xia, I know this is a lot to take in, but it's true. I suggest you keep Ye around for now. If he helps, the Silver Wolf has a much better chance of getting better. The professor advised. Xia Liuyun looked at Ye Qianxing, avoiding eye contact. Even though he hadn't said anything explicitly bad, anyone could hear his dislike for Ye Qianxing. Now he was supposed to ask for his help. Even with thick skin, he couldn't bring himself to say it. But if he didn't, and the professor got angry, the Silver Wolf's illness would be difficult to cure. Xia Xiaoyu saw her father's hesitation and giggled. She had never seen him act like this. She was considerate and wouldn't stand by. Brother Qianxing, why don't you stay and help? Xia Xiaoyu took Ye Qianxing's hand, her voice sweet and pleading. What man could resist that, especially when it came from a girl he liked? Ye Qianxing was hesitant to give in. Xia Liuyun's words had stung. I don't mind staying, but I don't know if Uncle Xia will kick me out. Xia Liuyun blushed. He knew he had to make his position clear. After all, Ye Qianxing wasn't demanding a public apology, which was a big break for him. He was being offered a way out, and he couldn't refuse. Heh, Qianxing, you're Xiaoyu's friend. How could I kick you out? Stay for dinner. Xia Liuyun was red-faced as he said this, but he had to. Okay, if you insist, Uncle Xia, I'll stay. Ye Qianxing nodded, having released his anger. Great, Yi, let's go take a look at the Silver Wolf. The professor said, leading Ye Qianxing to the Silver Wolf. The 4 trainers hurried after them. The professor was far more skilled than they were. This was a chance to learn. They were also curious to see how good this rising star really was. Chapter 54 Poisoning. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The howling moon silver wolf lay prone, eyes half closed, looking like he was on death's door. The old professor examined the wolf, his brow furrowing deeper with each passing moment. Ye Qianxing held back from sharing his own assessment. He wanted to see what the professor would deduce first. After 10 minutes, the professor finally stepped back, his frown still firmly in place. "Professor, what is it? Can you help him?" Liuyun asked, his anxiety evident after the long wait. "Alas," the professor sighed heavily. "President Xia, forgive my bluntness, but it appears the wolf has been poisoned, and it's a potent one. It's practically killing him." "Poisoned?" Liuyun's face paled. "Professor, you have to save Xiaoye." "I wish I could, but while I can tell he's been poisoned, I can't identify the specific toxin. That makes prescribing a remedy impossible. All I can do is try to keep him stable. You need to find a skilled veterinarian specializing in detoxification. That might be his only hope." The professor sighed again. Breeders primarily focus on the health and improvement of spiritual pets, concentrating on promotion and evolution. He knew a bit about treating them, but poisons were beyond his expertise. Breeding alone demanded so much effort, there was no time to master detoxification. "I'll send someone to find a detoxification expert immediately." "How long can you keep Xiaoye alive?" Liuyun asked urgently. He'd grasp at any chance, no matter how slim. "A week, at most," the professor replied. Despair washed over Liuyun. His connections made finding a detoxification expert achievable, but it would take at least 2 weeks. The professor's 1-week deadline made it impossible. The poison has almost completely consumed the howling moon silver wolf. 7 days is the absolute limit. "Professor, please do everything you can. I'll find an expert as quickly as possible." Despite his despair, Liuyun refused to give up. Just as Liuyun was about to call for help, Ye Qianxing spoke up. "Don't bother. I can cure the howling moon silver wolf's poisoning." Every eye in the room snapped toward Ye Qianxing. A flicker of hope ignited in Liuyun's eyes, but it quickly faded. If the professor couldn't do it, what chance did Ye Qianxing have? Even with the professor's praise, Liuyun still believed the professor was more skilled, at least for now, but hearing Ye Qianxing's words, the professor's frown vanished, replaced by excitement. "Oh, my forgetful brain. How could I overlook you, Xiaoye? Are you serious? You really have a way to detoxify Xiaoye silver wolf?" that the professor asked eagerly. If Ye Qianxing thought he could do it, the professor believed him. "Yes, and it's not even that difficult to detoxify Xiaoye silver wolf," Ye Qianxing smiled. "What do you mean?" "The poison affecting Xiaoye silver wolf is theobromine. It's harmless to humans, but deadly to canines. While Xiaoye silver wolf is a spiritual pet, he's still essentially a canine, so theobromine is very dangerous for him." Ye Qianxing explained. "Theobromine? What's that?" Liuxing asked, puzzled. "Well, put it this way, chocolate contains theobromine." Ye Qianxing didn't know how else to explain it. "You're saying Xiaoye got like this from eating chocolate?" Liuyun asked, stunned. "Not necessarily chocolate. It could be something else. The point is, even a little theobromine is harmful to canines, let alone a howling moon silver wolf. Xiaoye must have consumed a lot to be in this condition. If he weren't so strong, he wouldn't have lasted this long." Ye Qianxing's meaning was clear. "You're suggesting Xiaoye was poisoned intentionally?" Liuyun's face darkened. As president of the Spirit Control Association, he wasn't stupid. He understood Ye Qianxing's implication. "Exactly." Ye Qianxing confirmed. "Let's save that discussion for later. Xiaoye, how do we detoxify him?" The professor interjected. He wasn't concerned with why Xiaoye silver wolf had been poisoned, only how to save him. "It's simple. We need to pump his stomach." Ye Qianxing smiled slightly. "That's it?" The professor's eyes widened in disbelief. Well, not really. If it was within 6 hours, a stomach pump would be enough. But it's been several days, and the toxin has spread throughout Xiaoye Silver Wolf's body. Pumping his stomach will eliminate the source, but then we have to deal with the residual toxins. How do we do that? There are two options. One is a blood transfusion, but Xiaoye Silver Wolf's current state makes that risky. So, we'll use the second method, fight poison with poison. Ye Qianxing said. Fighting poison with poison might sound strange, but it works. Different types of viruses attack each other. By removing the source of the poison in Xiaoye Silver Wolf's stomach, the remaining toxins would essentially be leaderless. Then, injecting a carefully measured amount of another toxin would target and eliminate the remaining theobromine. There was no need to worry about the injected toxins harming Xiaoye Silver Wolf. Different toxins pose different risks to different organisms. Theobromine is highly toxic to canines but harmless to humans. Similarly, some poisons would be harmless to Xiaoye Silver Wolf. By selecting a toxin Xiaoye Silver Wolf was immune to, it could compete with the theobromine, and hopefully, Xiaoye would be the victor. The above is purely exaggerated, but theobromine is indeed harmful to dogs. Foods like chocolate should not be given to dogs. If they are eaten by mistake, they must be sent to the hospital. What's your confidence level? Xia Liuyun asked seriously. 100%, but time is of the essence, Uncle Xia. You need to decide quickly, Ye Qianxing replied. Xia Liuyun hesitated for a few minutes, then looked directly at Ye Qianxing and spoke slowly. Okay, I believe you. Tell me what you need, and I'll do everything I can to get it. Chapter 55 Cured. You are listening at novelfold.audio. Ye Qianxing asked Xia Liuyun to get the equipment for a stomach pump and some specific medicinal herbs. Xia Liuyun, efficient as always, had everything ready in under half an hour. Following the system's instructions, Ye Qianxing first gave the silver wolf a stomach wash, then brewed the herbs into a potion and fed it to him. 10 minutes later, the silver wolf vomited a large amount of black blood. Xiaoye says he feels much better, Xia Liuyun said, clearly excited. Because of their soul connection, he could communicate directly with his spirit pet. The poison's gone, but Xiaoye Silver Wolf's been through a lot. He needs a few days to recover. You'll have to feed him nutritious food in the meantime, Ye Qianxing advised. Absolutely. Qianxing, I can't thank you enough. Xiaoye was in real danger. I apologize for my rudeness earlier. Xia Liuyun bowed to Ye Qianxing. Before, his politeness had been solely for the old professor's sake, but now, seeing Ye Qianxing cure the silver wolf with his own eyes, Xia Liuyun felt nothing but gratitude and admiration. The previous disdain was gone. Uncle Xia, please, no need for that. Ye Qianxing quickly helped him up. Xia Liuyun was Xia Xiaoyu's father, and an elder. He couldn't accept that. Uncle Xia, you're Xiaoyu's father. Helping you is the right thing to do. That's right, we're practically family. No need to be so formal, Xia Liuyun said, chuckling. His words caught Ye Qianxing off guard. How had they become family all of a sudden? Dad, what are you talking about? Xia Xiaoyu, blushing, ran out, making her father laugh even more. Ye Qianxing was still confused. He might be sharp in many ways, but in others, he was still a total novice. Huh, Xiaoye, you've really impressed me. Your skills are so good, I have to admit you've got me beat. The old professor said, laughing. The other cultivation masters nodded in agreement. If the old professor had said that earlier, they would have thought he was just being modest, but now, they knew he meant it. Ye Qianxing's abilities were so impressive, he could easily qualify as a senior cultivation master. Old professor, you're too kind. I just happen to know a little about this. You're still way ahead of me when it comes to actual training, Ye Qianxing said modestly. In reality, the old professor's level was quite high, probably not far behind the senior masters, but, as they say, every profession has its own specialty. Medicine and toxicology had become less important in this era. With the rise of spirit pets, people focused more on them, causing the knowledge that was once common to be forgotten. if it weren't for the system and Ye Qianxing's interest in the past, he probably wouldn't have been able to do anything. You don't see many young people as humble as you anymore. That's a great quality. Staying humble will take you far. The old professor took Ye Qianxing's words as modesty, admiring him even more. Most young people who received his praise would be ecstatic and show off to everyone. A tree that stands too tall is the first to be blown over by the wind. Many geniuses have fallen because of their own arrogance. Ye Qianxing's humility was rare. Xiao Yi, are you free today? Let's grab a meal and talk about cultivation, the old professor suggested. Hearing that the old professor was inviting Ye Qianxing to lunch, the other cultivation masters were envious. Many influential people in Jiangnan City had tried to get some alone time with the old professor, but he turned them all down. There were only a handful of people in the entire city who had managed to catch his attention. However, Ye Qianxing wanted to decline. What did he know about cultivation? It would be embarrassing to go. Just as Ye Qianxing was trying to figure out how to turn him down politely, Liuyun spoke up. Old professor, you're out of luck. I already made lunch plans with Qianxing. First come, first served. You can't cut in line. Liuyun's words gave Ye Qianxing an out, and he quickly added, yeah, old professor, I promised Uncle Xia I'd have lunch at his house, so I'm sorry. That's fine. We'll have plenty of time in the future. I won't bother you. The old professor seemed unfazed. After a few more words, they all left. During lunch, Liuyun kept piling food onto Ye Qianxing's plate, calling him Qianxing and Xiaoya, as if he already considered him his son-in-law. He almost called him that directly. The meal lasted for hours. Before leaving, Ye Qianxing gave Liuyun a word of caution. Uncle Xia, there's something I want to say, but I'm not sure if I should. We're practically family, so say whatever's on your mind, Liuyun said, laughing. You should keep the fact that Xiaoya's silver wolf was cured a secret. It's best if no one else knows, except for those of us who are already aware, even close friends. Ye Qianxing's words were veiled, but Liuyun understood. His face turned serious. Don't worry. I know what to do. After leaving Xia's house, Ye Qianxing and the others returned to the store, where Sudala and the others were waiting for him. Qianxing, how did it go? Did President Xia give you a hard time? Sudala asked, concerned. What are you talking about? Why would my dad give my future brother-in-law a hard time? Let me tell you, I'm a huge fan of my future brother-in-law now. I bet if he asked my sister to marry him right now, my dad wouldn't even hesitate. Liuxing scoffed. You're such a blabbermouth, Xiaoyu said, hitting Liuxing on the head, making him pout. Ye Qianxing, you're so good with spirit pets. Could you take a look at my brother's spirit pets? Zhou Yu asked, pulling Zhou Lang forward, who looked shy. Of course, no problem. We're friends. No need to be so formal. You can just call me Qianxing. Or Brother Xing is fine too. Ye Qianxing said with a smile. After spending the morning with them, he felt like the two siblings were nice people, and he could see himself being friends with them. Summon your spirit pets, and let's take a look. Chapter 56 Business is coming. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Okay. So Zhou Yu and Zhou Lang both unleashed their pets at the same time. Ye Qianxing had seen Zhou Lang's pet before, a Tyrannosaurus Rex turtle with Xuanwu blood in its veins, but when Zhou Yu's pet showed up, even Ye Qianxing was taken aback. Pet, runaway rabbit, jade rabbit blood, currently dormant, attribute, wind/lightning, rating, 4-star, growth potential, level, F9. Skills, 1, storm caller, concentrated storm, wind attack, 0.2. Wind thunder step, physical attack, wind and thunder dual effect, 0.3. Power punch, pure physical attack, advancement requirements, evolution path. This thing actually has divine beast blood. Okay, sure, it's not a top-tier beast like Suzaku, Xuanwu, or Phoenix, but it's still way better than your average spirit pet. Who are these siblings? Their pets are insane. If only one of them had a killer pet, you could chalk it up to luck. But for both of them to have pets this good? Something's definitely up. These guys definitely have a story. Of course, Ye Qianxing just kept his thoughts to himself. Everyone has secrets, right? They barely know each other. It'd be weird if they just spilled their life stories right away. I'm guessing you guys know your pets have some kind of special bloodline, Ye Qianxing said. He immediately noticed the surprise on their faces. They were definitely caught off guard. For him to spot their pet's bloodline at a glance. Ye Qianxing really knew his stuff. Yeah, so, do you know how to help them unlock their bloodline? Zhou Yu asked after a pause. Admitting their pets had divine beast blood to Ye Qianxing was a sign of trust in itself. You know, a lot of people would do anything to get their hands on a pet with divine beast blood, steal it, rob it, whatever. That's why it's usually best to keep that information under wraps. I do know how to awaken their bloodlines, but it's complicated. It requires some pretty rare spiritual ingredients that I don't have access to right now. But just helping them level up. No problem, Ye Qianxing said, telling the truth. For example, if Zhou Lang's Tyrannosaurus Rex turtle wanted to evolve into a real Xuanwu, he'd need Xuanwu essence, or something that belonged to Xuanwu. That kind of stuff is next to impossible to find. It'd be a little easier for the runaway rabbit to evolve into a jade rabbit, but the materials required are still super rare, and Ye Qianxing didn't have them on hand. Just being able to level them up would be amazing. Thanks, Qianxing, Zhou Yu said. She wasn't getting greedy. She understood how difficult it would be to fully evolve the Tyrannosaurus Rex turtle and the runaway rabbit. Cool, and lucky for us, I happen to have everything I need to level them up. Let's get started. An hour later, the Tyrannosaurus Rex turtle and the runaway rabbit had both leveled up to E rank. Zhou Yu and Zhou Lang were ecstatic. The higher the quality of the spirit pet, the harder it is to level them up. They had been stressing about how to help their pets improve, and Ye Qianxing just solved a huge problem for them. They hung around the shop for the day, but no other customers came in. Ye Qianxing wasn't worried. He knew their target audience was pretty niche. Bro, I'll talk to my dad when I get home and see if he'll give our creation studio a shout out. With his rep, we'll get tons of people coming in to support us. Once you get your name out there, you'll be swimming in customers. Liuxing said that evening as they were getting ready to head home. Finally, you're good for something, Su Tila said, nodding like a proud dad. Oh yeah? And what good are you? Liuxing shot back. Those two were always at each other's throats. They couldn't go 5 minutes without arguing. Ye Qianxing and the others were used to it by now and just tuned them out. Well, I'm the one who's footing the bill for this whole studio, Su Tila said, puffing out his chest. PSH, so what? It's just a few bucks. You act like the rest of us are broke. Doesn't count, Liuxing said, shaking his head. Ugh, I also get all our supplies from those mercenary groups. Could you do that? Su Tila retorted, leaving Liuxing speechless. Su Tila was the big shot in the mercenary city. All the mercenary groups there respected him, and most of the spirit pet cultivation materials came from the wilderness outside the city, so they could only be bought through the mercenary groups. Liuxing wasted no time. As soon as he got home, he told his dad all about it. When Liuyun heard that Ye Qianxing had opened a studio, he jumped up, startling Liuxing. Why didn't you say something sooner? If I had known, I would have called a bunch of people to go support him. We need to make some noise for little Ye. Liuxing looked offended. He had only seen Ye Qianxing after the opening. How could he have told him earlier? I need to help little Ye. I'll call some of my old friends later. A few of their spirit pets have been acting up. It's the perfect opportunity for little Ye to take a look. The next day was still a holiday, so Ye Qianxing didn't get up until after 10. When he finally rolled out of bed, he saw over a dozen missed calls on his phone, all from Xiaoyu, Liuxing, Su Tila, and others. Ye Qianxing panicked. Could something have happened at the studio? He quickly called back, and Su Tila's anxious voice answered. Dude, you finally called. Get to the shop, now. We have customers. Then, Su Tila hung up. Ye Qianxing quickly got ready and rushed to the studio. As soon as he got to the door, he heard a bunch of impatient voices coming from inside. Old Xia, when's this Xiao Yi guy you mentioned gonna get here? Are you jerking us around? Yeah, old Xia, we haven't waited this long for anyone. Even that professor didn't make us wait this long. This Xiao Yi guy must think he's pretty important. Relax, everyone, he'll be here any minute now, Su Tila replied. Ye Qianxing pushed open the door and saw a group of people sitting in the room. They all looked to be in their 40s or 50s and exuded the air of people in charge. They were obviously not ordinary people, and Ye Qianxing knew one of them, Xia Xiaoyu and Xia Liuxing's dad, Xia Liuyun. See? I told you not to worry. Look, he's here. Xia Liuyun said, relieved when he saw Ye Qianxing. Chapter 57 A Lovelorn Bear. You are listening at novelfull.audio. When they saw that the training guru Xia Liuyun always raved about was just a kid, maybe 15 or 16, a few of the guys there got pretty riled up. Hey Xia, what is this, some kind of practical joke? A middle-aged man with gold-rimmed glasses, who looked about Xia Liuyun's age, said, clearly annoyed. Yeah, Xia, you know our time is money. Every minute wasted is a big hit to the wallet. Someone else chimed in. Xia Liuyun just laughed at their complaints. I knew you'd all react like this when you saw the kid. But trust me, don't judge a book by its cover. This kid makes even the old professor look bad. That shut them up quick. It wasn't like Xia Liuyun to hand out praise like that. This kid must be some kind of prodigy if Xia Liuyun thought he was better than the old professor. The guy with the gold-rimmed glasses stood up and looked at Ye Qianxing. So, you're really as good as Xia says? Even better than the old professor? It's just hype. There's no way I can compare to the old professor. Ye Qianxing flashed a smile. Why were they all stuck on that one point? He couldn't exactly say the old professor was a slouch in front of everyone. The guy with the gold-rimmed glasses stared at Ye Qianxing for a good half-minute, then spoke up. Alright, if Xia's singing your praises this much, there has to be a reason. Let's see what you can do. With that, the guy with the gold-rimmed glasses opened his contract space, and a brown bear lumbered out. The moment the brown bear appeared, all its information popped up in front of Ye Qianxing. Spirit pet, rock stick bear, attributes, birth/combat, rating, 3 stars, growth potential, level, E5. Skills, mud sling, rock roll, headbutt, weakness, water, evolution requirements, evolutionary paths, current state, heartbreak. What do you see? The man with gold-rimmed glasses asked. Rock stick bear, a dual attribute spirit pet, earth and combat, E-level, 5th stage, weakness is water. Ye Qianxing rattled off the info from the system, and the guy with the gold-rimmed glasses nodded in agreement. Everything was spot on. And, if I'm not mistaken, your rock stick bear has been moping around in the corner lately, lost its appetite, and barely listens to you, right? Huh. You can even tell that? Not bad. The guy with the gold-rimmed glasses looked surprised, because it was true, he could tell that much just by looking. Even the spirit pet's recent mood. The guy with the gold-rimmed glasses suddenly had higher hopes for Ye Qianxing. Can you fix it? I can't really do anything about that. Ye Qianxing shook his head, and the man with gold-rimmed glasses looked disappointed. Rock stick bear had been off his food lately. He just wanted to be alone, and he ignored commands. The guy with the gold-rimmed glasses was starting to worry. Was he sick or hurt? He'd even asked some trainers to take a look, but they all said Rock Stick Bear was perfectly healthy. Nobody knew what was going on, and the guy with the gold-rimmed glasses had been losing sleep over it. But just as the man with gold-rimmed glasses sighed and started to turn away, Ye Qianxing spoke up again. There's nothing wrong with your spirit pet's body. It's his heart that's hurting. What do you mean? The guy with the gold-rimmed glasses looked confused. Basically, he's heartbroken, so he's depressed. Isn't it the same with people when they're heartbroken? That's why I said I can't do anything about it. You gotta work that stuff out on your own. Ye Qianxing laid it out as simply as he could. You're saying, he's heartbroken. The guy with the gold-rimmed glasses was stunned. Not just him, but Liuyun and the other big shots were giving them weird looks. A bear could get heartbroken. What's so weird about that? Everything has a spirit, and bears have feelings too. Spirit pets are way smarter and more emotionally complex than regular animals, so it's not that crazy. Ye Qianxing shrugged. What was the big deal? Now that you mention it, a friend of mine brought over a female bear a few days ago. They seemed to be getting along great. He was reluctant to leave, but I didn't think much of it. Now that I think about it, he did start acting like this after that day. The man with gold-rimmed glasses suddenly remembered. What a coincidence. I think the kid's onto something. Why don't you have your friend bring his spirit pet over? Might solve the whole problem. Liuyun suggested. Good idea, I'll call him right now. The guy with the gold-rimmed glasses nodded, pulled out his phone, and made the call. At this point, the people who had thought Liuyun was just pulling their leg started to look at Ye Qianxing with more interest. If what he just said was true, then maybe Liuyun was right. This kid might be even better than the old professor. Everyone waited for more than half an hour, but nobody was impatient anymore. They really wanted to see if Ye Qianxing was right. Finally, a car roared up, and a middle-aged woman walked in with a pink bear. Hey Lin, why the rush? The middle-aged woman asked. Before the guy with the gold-rimmed glasses could answer, they heard a swoosh and a brown blur shot past him. The next thing they knew, Rock Stick Bear was hugging Pink Bear and nuzzling against her. No need to say anything. Everyone knew Ye Qianxing was right. This bear was head over heels. Ahem, Rong, here's the thing. I wanted to talk to you about something. My big bear here seems to really like your Hong. He hasn't been eating or sleeping since she left. How about I just buy her off you? Name your price. The guy with the gold-rimmed glasses said. For the bear, money was no object. The middle-aged woman named Rong shook her head. I wouldn't sell her. Hong's been with me for too long. I can't bring myself to do it. The guy with the gold-rimmed glasses looked deflated. He couldn't force her to sell if she didn't want to. But I'll bring Hong over to your place from time to time, if you don't mind. Rong added. I don't mind. Not at all. You can live here, if you want. The guy with the gold-rimmed glasses blurted out. It's a deal, then. I'll move in. Rong replied. Everyone who knew the guy with the gold-rimmed glasses exchanged knowing smirks. They knew both of them were single. This was how it started. Looks like the love between a pair of bears might have sparked something between their owners too. Chapter 58 Treat others the way they treat you. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Yo, Xiaoye, could you take a look at my spirit pet? Hey, Xiaoye, mine first. Xiaoye. After seeing Ye Qianxing's skills firsthand, all the bigwigs crowded around, summoning their spirit pets and practically begging for his help. Alright, folks, one at a time. There's enough for everyone, Ye Qianxing said, trying to calm the crowd. It took him half a day to finally shoo away these VIPs from every corner of Jiangnan City, but there was no doubt this was a great day for business. These were the movers and shakers of Jiangnan City. The guy with the gold-rimmed glasses, for instance, was the city's biggest real estate mogul, worth billions. Any one of these people could make waves just by walking into a room. Now that Ye Qianxing had shown them what he could do, they were sure to spread the word. This would skyrocket his popularity. Then he wouldn't have to worry about making money. And that's exactly what happened. From that day on, people were constantly lining up at his door. Ye Qianxing and the others quickly set business hours and a daily limit at Chuangshan Studio. Some people weren't happy, but Ye Qianxing didn't sweat it. If someone genuinely needed his help, they'd wait in line no matter how long it was. If they didn't, oh well, with his growing reputation, he wasn't worried about finding enough customers. The studio was running smoothly, but Ye Qianxing didn't neglect his studies. He still made it to class on time. Instructor Jiang Lin taught him the inch punch, and Ye Qianxing practiced it diligently. In just 10 days, he mastered about 80% of its power. In other words, with his current combat skills, he could easily take down a level 5 or lower evil spirit or spirit pet on his own. Jiang Lin was floored by Ye Qianxing's rapid progress. From completely wiping the floor with him at first, to having to give it her all, Jiang Lin gradually realized that she might not be able to beat Ye Qianxing for much longer. Another weekend rolled around, and Ye Qianxing headed to Qianxing studio. Business was still booming. Even though they had limited the number of customers, there was still a steady stream coming in. "Qianxing, we've got a problem," Sudala said, walking in with a dark look on his face as Ye Qianxing happily counted the day's earnings. "What's up?" Ye Qianxing asked. "Our supplies have been cut off," Sudala replied, looking grim. He was in charge of the studio supplies. "How? Don't those mercenary groups respect you?" Ye Qianxing asked, surprised. As the small-time lord of Mercenary City, no mercenary group would dare to cut off Sudala's supplies without a very good reason. "It's the iron-blooded mercenary group. A few days ago, they publicly announced that any mercenary group that supplied Qianxing Studio would be considered their enemy. The iron-blooded mercenary group is as influential in Mercenary City as my family, so..." A fire seemed to burn in Sudala's eyes. "The iron-blooded mercenary group? Kiwudu is dead, so why are they still after us?" Ye Qianxing asked, puzzled. Kuewu had an older brother who is the deputy leader of the iron-blooded mercenary group. He's got some pull. But I think their real reason for targeting us isn't about Kuewu, Sudala guessed. After all, no one knew they had killed Kuewu. Then why? It's gotta be because we're stealing their business. "Qianxing, you don't know this, but most of the trainer studios in Jiangnan City are owned by the iron-blooded mercenary group. We've been taking away most of their customers." Hearing Sudala's words, Ye Qianxing frowned. Whatever the reason, the fact was their supply of goods was now cut off. Without materials, even his impressive skills were useless. "I could ask my dad to put pressure on those mercenary groups. They're not scared of the iron-blooded mercenary group, but they sure are scared of my dad," Sudala said, his tone harsh. He was furious about this, but Ye Qianxing shook his head. "Pressuring the mercenary groups won't solve anything. We need to deal with the iron-blooded mercenary group directly." "You're saying we should fight the iron-blooded mercenary group? But they're the top mercenary group in Jiangnan City." Sudala was shocked. As the top mercenary group in Jiangnan City, the iron-blooded mercenary group's strength was not something they could easily challenge. "Exactly. But it's not about brute force, it's about being smart," Ye Qianxing said with a slight smile. "Outsmart them? What do you mean?" Sudala asked, confused. "They want to cut off our supplies? Fine, we'll give them a taste of their own medicine and loot their warehouse. That'll solve our supply problem and hit them where it hurts." Ye Qianxing smiled coldly. If they wanted to play dirty, they should be prepared for him to play even dirtier. "That's brilliant. The iron-blooded mercenary group would never expect us to do that, so their guard will be down." Sudala suddenly got excited, raising his hands in support of Ye Qianxing's plan. When she learned that the iron-blooded mercenary group had cut off their supplies, Sudala was livid. Now it was time for payback. "Do you know where their warehouse is?" "Yeah, it's on the back mountain," Sudala said quickly. "Great. Let's tell Xiaoyu and the others right away. We'll move tonight." 10 minutes later, Xiaoyu, Liuxing, Zhou Yu, and Zhou Lang had gathered. Ye Qianxing hadn't planned on bringing Liuxing along, but after hearing that Ye Qianxing was planning to rob the Iron Blood Mercenary Corps' warehouse, he insisted on joining them. The kid acted like he was going on a field trip. But he was determined to come along, so Ye Qianxing had no choice but to agree. That night, under the cover of darkness, Ye Qianxing and the other 5 quietly sneaked into the back mountain wearing dark clothing. "Qianxing, look up ahead." That's the Iron Blood Mercenary Corps' warehouse. It's got at least half of their inventory inside, Sudra said, pointing to a warehouse. A dozen people were guarding outside, each with a spirit pet lying beside them. The security was tight. 5 E-level spirit pets, 7 F-level spirit pets. The Iron Blood Mercenary Group does have some muscle, Ye Qianxing said, instantly knowing everything about the spirit pets guarding the warehouse. Qianxing, should we just rush in? Sudra asked. If we went in guns blazing, we might win, but since we're sneaking around, we should use that to our advantage. Brother-in-law, do you have another one of your sneaky plans? Liuxing asked excitedly. Ye Qianxing smiled mysteriously. Chapter 59 Looting the Warehouse. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ye Qianxing pulled some herbs and fruit out from Su Kuan's stomach, then squeezed the fruit juice all over the herbs. Huohua, give me some fire, would ya? Ye Qianxing said to Huohua, who was hanging out next to Xia Xiaoyu. Huohua liked Ye Qianxing almost as much as Xia Xiaoyu, so he was happy to help. The flames licked at the juice-soaked herbs, and pretty soon a weird smell was drifting on the breeze towards the warehouse. Qianxing, what are you up to? Seriously, cut the theatrics. Sudla asked, getting impatient. Just chill and watch. You'll see, Ye Qianxing said with a sly grin. A few minutes later, a chorus of roars suddenly ripped through the air. Sudla and the others whipped around, seeing the guard creatures outside the warehouse going totally berserk. They were running in circles, like something had really set them off. Fat tiger, knock it off. Gigi, what's gotten into you? The iron-blooded mercenary members tried to get their pets under control, but the usually obedient creatures were totally out of it. They were even attacking their owners. Ah! Get off me! Screams erupted as a rhino pet plowed right into its owner. Bro, what did you do? How'd you make those pets revolt like that? Liuxing was stunned. Simple. Deep down, every spirit pet is still an animal. The only thing keeping them in line is the contract with their master. This scent I made just temporarily taps into their animal instincts. Let's ditch the mind control. An angry pet is like a wild animal, it'll bite anything that moves. Ye Qianxing explained with a smile. Everyone there just stared, totally shocked. Man, you're cold-blooded, Liuxing said. Let them beat each other up, and we'll just swoop in and take the loot. Liuxing sighed. The iron-blooded mercenary spirit masters were now being chased by their own pets. They tried using their soul contracts, but it was no use. The pets were completely mindless, driven only by pure, wild instinct. Actually, it's not as bad as it looks. The spirit master and pet are linked. If the master's life is really in danger, the pet will snap out of it pretty fast. Ye Qianxing clarified. Zhou Yu and Zhou Lang were thinking, don't ever cross this guy. He'll trick you into an early grave, star. Alright, time to move. They won't stay riled up forever. Let's sneak into the warehouse and grab everything. Seeing the guards pinned down by their pets, Ye Qianxing gave the signal. 6 shadows slipped through the darkness and into the warehouse, while the guards outside were still getting mauled. Wow, these guys are loaded. Look at all this stuff. The warehouse was bursting with elixirs and treasures, way more than you could ever buy. Compared to the Qianxing studio stash, this was in a whole different league. If we take this stuff, we're set for, like, a year. Ye Qianxing grinned, summoned Su Kuan, and had him swallow the whole warehouse. Su Kuan's stomach was now a handy portable space. No more hauling around big bags for this guy. With the warehouse emptied, Ye Qianxing waved his hand, and they slipped away, leaving the guards outside to their fate. Ha ha ha, the iron-blooded mercenary group is gonna be so pissed. That was probably half their inventory. Back at Qianxing studio, Sudla couldn't stop laughing. What goes around comes around. If they didn't try to rip us off, they wouldn't be in this mess, Ye Qianxing said coldly. He didn't have a personal vendetta against them, and Kuei-Wu's death should have closed the case. But they just had to try and mess with him. Time to learn a lesson. I wonder how mad Kuei-Wu's brother is, Sudla chuckled. I heard he's in charge of the warehouse. Losing half their inventory. The boss is gonna make him pay. Well, that's their problem. It's getting late, I'm heading home. Ye Qianxing waved. Back in his apartment, Ye Qianxing checked on Ye Qianxing, but her room was dark. She was probably still out, she still hadn't even paid him for the Qianxing ancient tree thing. Ye Qianxing wasn't exactly hurting for cash, but a deal was a deal, and that was a lot of money to just leave on the table. Gotta hit up the Xiaoyao mercenary group tomorrow and find her. The next day, Ye Qianxing headed to the mercenary city. Anyone there? As soon as he got inside, he felt like he was being watched. He didn't really care, though. No fighting allowed in the city, and he doubted anyone would try anything here. Still, he took a roundabout route, making sure he wasn't being followed, before heading towards Xiaoyao Library. Inside, old man Ye Xiaoyao was lying on his rocking chair, fanning himself with a crummy old palm leaf fan, living the good life. Uncle Ye, Ye Qianxing said, walking up. Ye Xiaoyao slowly opened his eyes. Hey, you still remember this place? Haven't seen you in ages, Ye Xiaoyao said, sounding annoyed. I've got stacks of jobs piling up. Qinghan swamped. Ye Qianxing smiled, though he was thinking, yeah, right, you stiffed me on half the commission. I'm here because I got robbed. He wasn't about to say that out loud. Hey, where is Qinghan? Is she here? Ye Qianxing asked, getting to the point. She's probably out on a mission. Don't know where she is, Ye Xiaoyao said after thinking a bit. Ye Qianxing was starting to think the old man was a flake. How could he not know where his own daughter was? Surround the place. Just as Ye Qianxing was about to push the issue, a shout rang out from outside. A bunch of uniformed people burst into the library, heavy boots thudding. They were flanked by their pets, all F-level 5 or higher, and even a few E-level ones. The leader was a middle-aged guy with a scar across his face. Chapter 60. Don't judge a person by appearance. You are listening at novelfull.audio. There's also a huge black eagle circling above the scarred guy, *** spiritual pet, iron-feathered eagle king ***. Type ***, flying, rating *** 2 stars, grade E8, ability iron wing slash. Weakness thunder, requirements for advancement evolution path You're Ye Qianxing, head of Chuangshan Studio, right? The scarred man's voice was raspy and unpleasant, but Ye Qianxing picked up on something in his words. These guys were definitely from the iron-blooded mercenary group, and they were here for him. That's me. What's your point? Ye Qianxing was calm. He wasn't worried about them making a move. This was Mercenary City, after all, and Sudala's territory. Besides, even if they did try something, with what Ye Qianxing could do, it was anyone's game. It's not about a point. Just wondering if you knew the iron-blooded mercenary group's warehouse in the back mountains was cleaned out last night. So what if I do? So what if I don't? You brought a whole crew to surround me. You think I did it? Ye Qianxing said casually. Yeah, I suggest you hand everything back now. I might let you off this time. Otherwise, knowing the little city lord of Mercenary City won't save you. You won't be leaving here alive. The scarred man spat out venomously. He was already burning with rage, barely keeping it under control. The warehouse robbery cost the iron-blooded mercenary group nearly half its elixir supply. As the guy in charge, he was feeling the heat. Plenty of people in the group wanted his job. If he didn't get the stuff back, he was toast. After a lot of digging, he learned Chuangshan Studio was the most likely culprit. That's why he was after Ye Qianxing. Ye Qianxing happened to come to Mercenary City, so he sent someone to tail him. Ye Qianxing, I also heard you had some beef with my brother, Kue Wu. I bet his death had something to do with you, right? But I don't care about any of that right now. Just get everything back, and we can call it even. Scarface was primarily concerned with the elixirs at the moment, so he was playing it cool with Ye Qianxing for the time being. Once he got the elixirs, he could do whatever he wanted with Ye Qianxing. First, I know nothing about your warehouse getting robbed. Second, your brother's death is none of my business. Of course, Ye Qianxing wasn't about to admit anything. He'd covered his tracks. You're not making this easy on yourself. My patience is wearing thin. The scarred man's face turned dark. If you have proof, I'll listen. But if not, take a hike. Ye Qianxing said coldly. Since when do I, Kuei Shui, need proof? Kid, I gave you a chance. If you don't want it, that's on you. The scarred man had lost it. Alright, get him. Alive. Yes, sir, that the iron-blooded mercenary group all responded, ordering their spiritual pets to attack Ye Qianxing. A cold light flashed in Ye Qianxing's eyes. He had 2 top-tier E-class spiritual pets now, and with his own abilities, he might be able to take these guys, but if a fight broke out, this Xiaoyao library would be history. Looking at the oncoming spiritual pets, Ye Qianxing sighed. Just when he was about to call out or Bai Wu and King Kong, a familiar voice boomed. What's going on here? Am I a joke to you people? You got permission for me to fight on my turf. That the voice made both Ye Qianxing and the iron-blooded mercenary group freeze. Ye Qianxing turned to see old man Ye Xiaoyao. Was he really sticking up for him? Kuei Shui looked at Ye Xiaoyao, too, but after seeing he was just a slobby old guy, he dismissed him. What, you trying to help him? Listen, old man, don't say I didn't warn you, your garbage mercenary group is gonna get wiped off the map. Kuei Shui sneered, he'd never heard of the Xiaoyao mercenary group. Must have been some third-rate outfit, not worth a second glance. No respect for your elders. Looks like it's time for me to teach you a thing or two about manners. Ye Xiaoyao's face darkened. Old man, you asked for it. Kuei Shui roared, and the iron-feathered eagle king above him screeched, its wings shook, and a dozen iron feathers detached, whistling through the air straight at Ye Xiaoyao. Uncle Yi, watch out, Ye Qianxing shouted. Ye Xiaoyao had tricked him more than once, but he was the reason for this whole thing. Ye Xiaoyao couldn't get hurt because of him, but Ye Xiaoyao remained calm. Just as the iron feathers were about to hit him, a purple-blue blur flashed by. The next thing anyone knew, a powerful lion covered in thunder and lightning stood in front of Ye Xiaoyao. The iron feathers had already melted into nothing. Roar! The lion roared, making everyone's ears ring, a terrifying pressure, 100 times stronger than the iron-feathered eagle king, slammed into everyone. Even Ye Qianxing couldn't help but tremble. That was definitely the aura of a D-class spiritual pet, spiritual pet, Thunder Lion King type lightning. Rating 4 stars, level D8, abilities Thunder Blast, Endless Lightning Punishment, Lightning Avatar, weakness rock, requirements for advancement Evolution path Ye Xiaoyao, that sly old fox, had a D-class spiritual pet, and almost C-class at that. Once a spiritual pet or evil spirit reached C-class, it was called a Lord level. A Lord level spiritual pet was incredibly powerful, and there wasn't even one in Jiangnan City, and Ye Xiaoyao, this unknown, seedy old man, actually owned a near Lord level spiritual pet. Ye Qianxing's whole world view was shaking. It just goes to show, you can't judge a book by its cover. The Thunder Lion King roared, electricity crackling all over its body. It glared at the iron-feathered eagle king, furious. That thing dared to attack his master, unforgivable. Go get him, old friend. Ye Xiaoyao patted the Thunder Lion King's head. With permission from his master, the Thunder Lion King could finally unleash all his anger. It opened its mouth and shot a bolt of lightning as thick as a man's arm. The target? The iron-feathered eagle king hovering in the air.